Okay, we're going to move on to public comment, and there are 2 speaker cards that we have, and City Clerk, if you would call them, please.
Elizabeth Meyer.
Good evening to all, and many thanks to our mayor and council members, in particular Marty Medina, who has been very patient with my emails, for providing this opportunity to express my concerns about the increasing illegal dumping and fire risk in the parking lot at Glenview and San Bruno Avenue West. I have a picture here identifying the area on a map if needed. My name is Elizabeth Meyer, and my husband and I live in the Crestmore 1 neighborhood. I drive by this lot twice a week. My husband cycles past it on his way to the Crystal Springs Trail a couple of times every other day. We can attest to the fact that within the past year alone, it has become a welcome ground, not only for increased trash, but also at times suspicious-looking vehicles, some which look abandoned, and others, such as RVs, campers, seem are being lived in, as they remain unmoved from the location for a disconcerting amount of days. If they are being lived in, this raises the question of where are those residents dumping their waste? I have here a couple of pictures showing some dumpage. Yesterday morning was the last time my husband rode past the lot, and at that time, the tires shown in one of my pictures were gone. But there was now another large pile of dirt. The area also appears to be used as a place for landscape waste. I have reported the issue twice to San Bruno Response within the past 3 months, and to the San Bruno Police Department via the online general contact information, but I believe that not knowing to whom the property belongs has made the issue a challenge to report. Via the Nextdoor app, I have read about multiple reports made by my neighbors to different city departments, and many views are also shared as to who the property owner is. I respectfully request that the council, 1, inquire who owns the property, 2, hold them accountable for properly maintaining the lot, and 3, require that they post at least a couple of strategically worded signs around it. For example, signs that identify the code violation and its penalty. Furthermore, wording such as, "Your image may be recorded," the key word here being may, helps to discourage illegal activity. If by chance the property is owned by the state, the possibility of fencing it off may need to be considered. Presently, the lot appears neglected. In its current state, you might as well put up a welcome sign for continued dumping, a brush fire, and other illegal activity. I need not remind you of the preventive fire measures our state is trying to take. I only have a few more sentences.
Please go ahead if you can wind up, please.
Up towards Skyline is where the wind blows and where there is an abundance of dry grass and tall trees. The last thing my neighborhood needs is to re-experience the loss of property and life due to another fire. I'd rather see the lot clean and fenced up like the lot that's right next to it, of which I also have a picture. I thank you very much for your attention. I plan to follow up with you in 3 months, January 2020, as I may be addressing some new council members. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for your comments. We have a couple other speakers, so we can call them all up so we can
Tim
proceed.
O'Brien, followed by Sandra Perez Vargas.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Tim O'Brien, and I'm here to talk about vehicles blocking the sidewalk. It's really becoming a big public safety issue, and I'd like to see, or others and I would like to see better enforcement to protect people that are walking, that use the sidewalk every day. It's putting them in jeopardy when they have to go around into the street and onto oncoming traffic, and people are just not looking out for those people that have to use the street to get to the other side of the sidewalk. So I just, like others and I, would like to see better enforcement. It's a city ordinance, it's a public safety issue, and just like to see it addressed. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. Sandra?
Followed by Jeffrey Tong.
Hello. I want to talk because I become increasingly concerned about the homeless in our community. By Tanforan, just south of it, past the 380 overpass, there's a new encampment coming up. I called this afternoon. There was one homeless person there with furniture building and carts. And when we drove by later, there were 3 people. So I just don't think those are getting addressed earlier. My understanding is it's 72 hours is supposed to be given to vacate. And underneath 380, I think it took us months to have the people there, and it grew and grew. And I also called yesterday because there was one homeless person walking on Huntington, harassing people. He was following people, yelling at them, going up to cars, walking in the middle of the street. I've been told many times being homeless is not illegal. I think we have to look way past that and look at the behavior. And the behavior is becoming very challenging for many residents. And I would like to see the city address it a little bit better. And I want to echo what Tim said. During these campaigns, I'm walking 7 days a week from Marty, Medina, and Linda Mason. I'm walking door to door. Most of the time I have to walk in the middle of the street because I can't get around vehicles. And this is such low-hanging fruit. We see it, the police sees it, the chief of police has been made aware of this over and over again. I don't know how we can stress the importance of doing some type of remanagement. It's a matter of time before somebody gets seriously injured, and I think we've ignored it long enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandra. Jeffrey, you're next, sir.
Jeffrey Tong.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and City Council members. I'm Jeffrey Tong from Fleetwood Drive. In 2016, the City Council rejected Caltrans Skyline Project Expansion Program, and in October, the City Council also approved a number of transportation issues, but secondly, the UCLA professor Donald Trump had concluded that parking increased demand for driving, just like Caltrans about a year before San Bruno rejected the Skyline expansion program. Their report concluded that increased roads attracted more traffic. It's called induced demand. With these 2 developers for the El Camino and I-380 project, I would like to request that the City Council require that the developer put aside some funds for a transportation development program in lieu of underground parking. I'm not sure if one of the developers had that in mind, but with those 2 traffic and parking studies concluding that more parking and more roads would increase traffic congestion, I'd like to ask that you put that as a requirement for any development proposal at I-380 and El Camino Real. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey.